Hey marketers, Philippe, Florida Custom Merch. I want to talk to you today about redefining productivity, a minute at a time. In this world where we, constantly demand long-term planning, and you hear about this plan for the future, plan this, plan that, really far out. Setting big goals and visualizing grand futures. The idea of focusing on just the next minute might seem counterintuitive. Um, but this what we call this micro focus. This approach can be the key to unlocking sustained productivity and reducing the overwhelm that often accompanies larger goals. Um, why thinking about the next minute? Why is that a better way to go? Well, one thing actually is, when we think too many, too much time ahead of us, we think of many things and maybe become overwhelmed. First thing is it would probably reduce the sense of overwhelmness we might feel the more time forward we think about. You know, the large task, the projects, it can be really daunting, and especially when we have tight deadline and high stakes, things, big things to worry about. And breaking down your time frame to just the next 60 seconds can really lessen the pressure, making the task at hand more manageable. For example, instead of thinking, I have to write an entire report by the end of the week, well, shift the mindset. What's one sentence that I can write in the next minute? This will really minimize procrastination, build momentum, and give a sense that you've started, as opposed to this mental block of I got to start. I think it also increases focus. Productivity often suffers because of distraction, big mental clutter. Again, our mind will get extra clutter when we think too far ahead and often think of things that will never happen. And by focusing solely on the next minute, then now you're giving yourself a permission to really concentrate, or more fully concentrate on single task or a one thought or much fewer thoughts, and really take out a lot of mental noise from uh, things that may happen and things that may not happen. I think it also helps build momentum. Success is cumulative. A single minute of being able to think about um, what you're trying to accomplish might not seem so impactful, but put them all together, and all these minutes you know, uh, can really lead to significant progress. And I think that again, this method really um, harnesses the power of consistency. Now, how do you do it? So you set micro goals, break down the task, write the opening sentence of an email, fix a small portion of your desk, brainstorm one idea, one project at a time. Uh, Use timers. You can leverage timers to stay accountable. Setting a 1 minute timer can create a sense of urgency, encourage you to think and act more quickly. Apps, tools like uh, a, a timer called Pomodoro can help extend this concept. Mindfulness, training yourself to stay in the moment. It's much easier to stay in the moment when the moment is much shorter. And before diving into a task, take a deep breath. Ask, what's the best thing I can do in that 1 minute? And practicing that can really reduce anxiety. Celebrate small wins. When you're working a minute at a time, and you've accomplished, and fill that minute with thoughtful activities, then you can really celebrate, your wins. And every minute, is a step forward. Um, when to use the minute by minute approach? Uh, all the time, really. Every moment, every day, every second. Um, but during the moment of high stress, that's when you really want to step back. And when you're feeling overwhelmed, step back, and go back to that 1 minute approach. Um, you may also be more prone to appreciate those moments, maybe when you're shopping somewhere and you're waiting in line, and you've got that minute, and you may appreciate that minute more rather than think, I'm only here for 10, 15 minutes to get this done, while waiting online for even 5 minutes. And now when you're working on a minute at a time, you may decide, well, here's my minute, let's take advantage of it. And then, of course, when you're working a minute at a time, you're more in the now, and the now has a lot of power because the now is real, as opposed to a future which may or may not come about the way you thought it was going to come about. And thinking about the next minute doesn't mean you don't have long-term goals. Rather, it's a method of bridging, making a bridge, towards that goal in smaller increments. So you can think of, I wanted so and so by so and so. You can write it down, but then do it in a moment, do it in a minute. So anyway, I hope this was very helpful to you. Feel free to go to the article. There's a link to the article. Any questions, call us please. 386 400 2666. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Wishing you success, health, happiness, long life. Thank you for listening to the podcast. There should be a button on this podcast where you can share your thoughts with us. We'd be happy to hear from you. And of course, we'll respond very quickly. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Success in all you do.